Body and Soul is one of those ballads that I think every jazz musician should learn, and in this video we're going to take a look at a recent recording that I did of Body and Soul in the standard key of D flat. Hey, it's Paul Tobey here from jazzmental.com. Thanks for joining me for another one of my tutorials. I encourage you to stick around to the end. I'm going to go through most of the chord voicings that I use in this song. It's an AABA structure, so there's really only two sections to learn here. We're going to listen to it, then analyze it. And a little bit later, I'll be posting a link to the transcription of Body and Soul along with a coupon code, so you can look forward to that. Let's dive in and get started. We'll listen to the first A section. And then it goes into the second A section. It's just a repeat of the first one. I might play a few different chords, but we're going to go back and listen to it from the beginning, and we're going to stop every now and then to discuss what's really happening. So you'll notice that off the top, I'm not actually playing over an E flat, which is the typical chord. It starts on 2 minor. So I'm playing over the 5th. So I'm putting down this pedal and then playing the E flat chord over top of that, something like this. And then you'll also notice that the left hand does an inner voice. And a typical inner voice for minor chords is like the major 7, the 6, the flat 6, etc. So let's play that. So it's moving these inner voices, E flat to D flat. And it's just kind of this interplay of hands. There's no exact way to notate that, just feel it and hear it. So the right hand and left hand kind of go back and forth. All right, let's keep going and listen to a bit more. So that's an E flat chord to a D7 sharp 11. So if we do this from the beginning, we're still in E flat minor. And here we're changing to the D7 sharp 11. So think of it like the first 3 notes of an E major scale over D7. And this, of course, is the sharp 11 of the D7 chord. Now, we could have gone from E flat to A flat, but it's better in many cases, especially this one, to use the tritone substitution, which is D7 sharp 11. Let's listen to it some more. So that's just following the melody around. The melody goes like this. Just coming down the E flat minor scale. And all I'm doing is chords voiced in fourths. So we start off in E flat minor, and we switch to an A chord in second inversion and a B flat down here. So you get this dissonant chord. Now it might seem out of context, but the reason why we do that is because we're trying to create dissonance and then resolve. So then the next chord, it just goes down a half step. It's like A flat over A, and then G flat over A flat. So starting on the E flat minor again, and then it sounds nice in context. So from the beginning, I think it really makes a nice sound, and I encourage you to explore ways of reharmonizing melody by putting chords under each note. All right, let's pause the tutorial just for a moment to ask you if you could reach down and hit the thumbs up button. For those of you that don't know, those types of actions really help us here at the channel. A thumbs up, a comment, subscribe to the channel. It really helps this channel grow and reach more jazz musicians around the world. Thanks in advance for doing that. All right, let's keep going. That is E flat minor to E flat minor over D flat. So the bass goes down. And then we've got our 2-5 of B flat minor. So the first chord is a C half diminished seventh. And then we're going to use the tritone substitution of F7 and go B7 with sharp 11. So let's do that one more time. And we don't even need to put the root down here, which is B. We can just play this chord. Let's listen some more. I love that chord right there, the one that goes like this. That chord right there, we'll talk about that in a second. But basically, it's a B flat to E flat. We're using the tritone substitution of E flat 7, which is A7. Then E flat minor, A flat 7. And this is an interesting chord, so let's take a look at it. It is really just a whole tone scale. It does include the tritone of A flat, so those two notes, but then it's using whole tone scale. So it sounds like this. Lots of dissonance going on there. It's really nice to be able to resolve that to D flat. One more time, slowly. And just a simple D flat chord. And then it does 1, 4, 3, 6. So 1 to 4, which is G flat, 7 sharp 11, and then F minor to B flat 7, back to E flat. So let's play that 1, 4, 3, 6 again. You'll notice that I'm switching it up a little bit here and there, but the basic chords remain the same. I might add in an extra note, an extra extension, just to kind of create more dissonance. All right, let's keep listening to the tune. So there I did E flat to D major, an E triad over D. You don't always have to play dominant seventh chords. Sometimes just major chords work well, especially if you're doing major chords with sharp 11. Let's keep going. So there I didn't follow the chords down the scale. I did this. So think of it like octaves on the outside, which is the melody, and then the diminished chord. Interesting thing about that is you can just kind of keep moving around the diminished chord and it makes nice sounds. Okay? Let's keep playing. Now, there's nothing really special about that except we're switching keys to D major. We ended on D flat, then we go to 4, then a 2/5 of D minor, which is E minor 7 to A7. And in this particular case, we've got a flat 9 in here and the 13th up there. So E minor 7 to this chord, A7 with a flat 9 and a 13, and then we're on to D major. Let's move it back and listen to that again. That sounded neat. Lots going on there. So the first thing is we're just coming up a D major scale using what we call drop two voicings. So this is the actual voicing. Take the second note from the top and move it down to the bottom. And then just go up the scale. Like that. To E minor. To F sharp minor. It's a pretty wide open voicing right there. One more time. So, and this is a G minor major 7th chord. So there's G minor, add the major 7 in there, you get this sound. And then I did an inner voice that goes from the 9th to the sharp 11. Let's go back and hear that one more time in the recording. So what you have is an F minor 7, and then it moves to B7, to E minor, to A7. 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, 3, 6, 2, 5. Going to D major. So let's take a look at those inner voices that move. It's like this. And in the context of what we're playing, it's F minor 7 to a B7 flat 9. It's like the flat 9 moving to the root, which is B7. And the same thing for A7. One more time. Let's listen to that again. So this is interesting. We're switching to the key of C major. So it's coming up the D minor scale. And yes, it's doing the drop two voicings, but it's also using 6th diminished scale. So D minor to this diminished chord, which is essentially a C sharp diminished chord, like that, to D minor. And then we're going to a G7 with a sharp 11 here. So it's basically 2, 5, 1 of C minor. So D minor to G7, sharp 11. And then we're going to C, but there's an inner voice here which moves from the 5th to the flat 6 to the 6th. That chord is a C diminished 7th chord, voiced like this, and then inner voices. In the context of the whole phrase, it sounds really nice. Let's play the recording again from the start of the bridge so you can hear the whole thing. There's nothing special about that ending. It's just the third and seventh of these dominant seventh chords. C. So here's the third here and the seventh, and then it just goes down in half steps. And then back to the A section. Okay, I hope you got some good quality voicing ideas out of that. There is an entire transcription of this tune. I'm gonna put a link to the sheet music up here in the corner. On that page, you can listen to the entire recording and purchase the transcription, which I'm also going to put a coupon code on your screen to save 40%. For those of you that wanna learn the voicings inside out and learn some soloing ideas, I think it's a great purchase. And recently I did a video on 5 really cool bebop lines that you can use when you're soloing. I'm gonna put a link to that video tutorial right here.